for hanging out with us tonight. Here with the FIMU Alpha League of Legends Championship Series. Once again, we are in week 2, game 2. We'll have to change that. Game 2 of GDA versus POO. Gimme That Ace versus Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods. We had Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods coming out strong in that first game. What did you guys think of that? I thought it was pretty awesome. It was good to see some really tactical gameplay.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching the early game right there, and then also just seeing some really good communication between what seemed to be the junglers and the solo laners on the side of Bear Jr. A little bit disappointed on the side of Gimme Dat Ace. I wanted to see more proactive movements and just see Adam try to take the game in his hands with the champion that he picked. But overall, it was really fun to watch.
Yeah,
I
I think
must.
so. And it seems like we're just about ready to go into picks and bans. So as soon as these guys are ready, this is gonna pop up here, and we'll get started. Frank, what were you gonna say there?
I was gonna say before we go into this game, I think that we before we go into picks and bans, I just want to know what your guys' opinion is on what needs to change in picks and ban phase to give a little bit more of an advantage for GDA. Like what needs to change in their game.
I'm gonna let you take that one, Sean.
Yeah, you got it. I definitely think the gameplay wise, they needed to keep the tempo up that they had. They had a pushing bot lane and a pushing mid lane. So having two pushing lanes and then getting first blood in one of those, you need to keep the tempo up in the top side of the map. I wish they would have focused down the Yorick so he wouldn't have just had this not necessarily free farm lane because he did get bullied out in the early levels, but he wasn't punished there. He was low enough under that tower to maybe if Adam was there, he could have helped with the. He could have counter ganked for the Maokai that was there, or possibly other anything else. I also think they should ban the Yorick as well on the side of GDA.
I agree. I think that needs to be banned out a lot better. I also think that I want to see theatrics on a jungler that's gonna do more work because I think that J4 can do good things, but I want to see something that that Adam can do a little bit, that he can put little bit more on his shoulders with his champion.
Yeah, I don't
Absolutely, and
know.
we do have picks and bans coming out, by the way, guys. So if you are following that, we have a Nivi ban coming out for GDA, a Thresh ban targeted once again at Nick, Bear Jr., and a Kane ban and a Malzahar ban. One targeted at their mid laner, and that Kane, of course, targeted at Adam, who is a notable Kane player.
Yeah, so GDA keeps the same three bans, and POO keeps the exact same. So the first round of bans is the exact same from both sides.
Allowing the Yorick up again. I'm shocked.
Well, so what do you do? Do you allow Yorick to happen and then you can change your playstyle like we just talked about and focusing it down and have a better plan to stop it? Or do you let Bear Jr. have one of his comfort pits or give Hiromar his arguably best champion and then allow them to have better wave clear?
We
In
have
my
Hodor
opinion,
Nation in chat saying they want to see Labyrinth on his Lee Sin again. We'll see about that. Who knows if they're gonna let Labyrinth onto one of those carry champs? Although that is his original champ, BMing with the no jungler item build. We'll see.
my opinion is let the Thresh go through, and ban away the Yorick.
See, I would
Oh,
if
but the
you
York gets picked out here. So Hillary Clinton does get that York once again, shining really brightly in the last game. Arguably, according to chat, the MVP of the last game on that York. So they let it go again.
And I don't understand why the Karma is a priority pick. Why is it pick number one? Flexible, potentially, but I just don't know if it's strong enough.
yeah, I mean if you're really wanting to like choose which one to drop, I think you actually drop the Anivia if you want to drop something. But then again, I think that you can just play better around. Right now, we're just seeing a run back. Is this gonna be a salty run back? There's no way that they pick Sivir here. Okay,
But
here's
they
the
did.
Elise
So they're gonna first pick the jungle. See, this is what happened last time. They saved their jungle pick, and then I
for
believe
second rotation. Yeah.
for the second rotation, and they banned out Adams, one of Adams' junglers again. They banned out 3 junglers in the last game: Kane, Elise, and Kha'Zix. And he wound up having to be on the Jarvan. But this time he gets to pick his Elise, which I know for a fact that he has been practicing quite a bit this week in preparation for this game.
So here's how you do it. I mean, he could have done this last game with the Jarvan. It would have worked out just fine. There's not
Oh,
going
and
to be.
we do see Labyrinth on the Lee Sin. Sorry to interrupt, but we are mega hype now. We are initiating mega hype on the stream. Flares up, hype out, guys. Let's get some. Can we get hashtag
you.
Lee Sin no jungle in the chat, please?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, hashtag Lee Sin no jungle item. That's what we're gonna see, guys.
Yeah. The Elise is going to have a really potent level 3 gank. No level 2 cheese coming out from Adam this game, but he's going to probably make a level 3 topside gank onto the Yorick. It's really easy to land if the Shen lands the taunt. Banning out the Sivir makes a little bit of sense. It was a pushing lane. It was something they had to deal with a little bit. Didn't really ever show up, though. It takes so much time to scale. I believe that was a Tristana ban.
Was that a Trist ban?
They just didn't lock
Let's
it
find
in.
this. We'll find out in chat. We'll keep it going, guys.
Yeah. But the least
Sona, it was
sending
a Sona ban. We're getting confirmation from chat that it was a Sona ban.
All right, Sona ban then.
And that's what it looked like. So they were hovering Sona, and then it went blank. So
yeah,
I'm just wondering how the rest of GDA's comp is going to round out right now. Because I feel like POO is going to have a similar team comp. It looks also like GDA is having similar team comp, but not sure. Maybe pick up the MF and have an MF Karma bot lane, which is so incredibly oppressive right now.
Well, the MF was just banned by GDA actually, and POO picks up Tristana.
And we do know that that random guy is a Tristana main. So we've got a couple of people. Actually, we've got all 4 members of POO on their main champions right now. And that I think is going to be okay. That's fair. Oh, do we have that? We do have the Callista getting locked in for give me that ace. That's tough because Callista is she's I don't know. You guys take it away on the Callista analysts.
I think it'll be okay, but I want to see a tank support. I want to see a tank support if we're going to do the Callista and have the Karma go mid lane against the Veigar. As Sean was pointing out, I think it is a pretty good matchup in favor of the Karma. And Baja Blast Lover does play a lot of Veigar, so he should know how to play them.
Oh, but we are going to see Akali coming out instead for that mid lane pick. And I mean, we do know that if you look up the stats for Baja Blast Lover, he is an Akali main, so he is getting on his main champion.
This comp from GDA, I'll talk about it after we lock in the last pick for POO, but this comp is interesting.
What does it want to do? What does it want to do? Let's figure that out.
It has to snowball.
Oh, we have the Zillion getting locked in just finally before we continue with our analysis. We all have 3 minutes to do that. So this is our champ select, ladies and gentlemen. The Zillion coming out for Bear Jr.
Yeah, as said by my ADC in chat, solo queue. That's what this team comp screams to me on the side of GDA.
I disagree, though.
Yeah, it's just, you have to snowball this. Because Akali going into any of these, like now with the Zillion, which is a huge and a very smart pickup coming out of Bear Jr. right there. She's going to try to burst someone down. If Zillion's in range, she's just going to use her whole kit on someone who's going to get it revived right away. And then she'll get blown up by Veigar.
I think what's going to happen with this team comp is that Akali and the Elise are going to be wanting to... Their communication's going to have to be there for them to dive on someone. Shen's going to be ulting to one of them while... and then peeling back for the Callista and Karma trying to protect the Callista. I think that's what needs to happen here. I agree with the snowball, but it doesn't sound crazy to me. I think it's going to be a lot of dive with Shen quickly following up and hopefully being more proactive this game with his.
So yeah, here's my thing though. With this comp, you have zero wave clear. Until Callista gets Hurricane, you actually have zero wave clear. I've talked about this all split. Teams who pick zero wave clear comps
Karma
and
Mantra
then,
Q.
excuse me?
Karma Mantra Q.
Karma Mantra but support Karma, and she's not going to be in the mid lane. And if that's your way of using, there's no reliable
You don't
wave
want that
clear.
farm going on the Karma.
Yeah, well,
Well,
you don't want her
I
using the Mantra Q to farm. I mean, not farm, but to clear out waves, though.
I agree, but I'm saying that I think by the time like Callista should be getting Hurricane item 1 or item 2. And I think that with that what that means is that Karma can at least get it down a little bit, use a little bit of Elise W until we can get a Hurricane onto the Callista. I do agree
Yes.
with you. It's not a lot of wave clear and it is a little problematic, but
I mean,
it's
luckily,
not
it's not
it could
like
be worse.
luckily on the other side, it's not like this wave clearing mad machine on the side of Pooh, but it's just I think the Elise. If last game was on Adam, this one's even more so on Adam. Um, it's going to be incredibly dependent on him. Also, they're really AP heavy when it comes to itemizing. Now, Lee Sin's gonna, he's gonna match the early game pressure of the Elise. I just think giving over the same solo laners to Pooh is gonna be pretty. It's gonna see how well they adapt. If Akali can get a good gank onto Hiramar, if they can burn his flash and then Baja Blast plays around the event horizon and doesn't get stunned, yes, he can probably solo and take over that lane. If Elise focuses top lane and puts York behind, then they can make those TP plays and those stand united plays that you were talking about in the bot lane. Because you have some really good, you can start it off with the Akali, she gets Shin ulted, or start it off with Elise, she resets tower aggro, Karma gets pulled back in. There's a lot of ways to do it, but this Zillion pick is absolutely
Wait, hold on.
huge.
We just had a trade go in. Zillion.
They're just
No,
trolling.
that is not real. Stop.
Okay.
They're just being dumb.
Yeah, the Zillion
They're
pick.
tempting fate with the spaghetti code. I don't like it.
Yeah, Zillion. The Zillion pick is absolutely huge for the win conditions because whether it's the Elise burst that may be coming out because you only build AP Elise right now with maybe some like tanky health stats, or the Akali trying to burst someone down, if he is in range to to ult someone besides himself, he's done his job in the team fight because VAR will pop anyone else in that team fight. And Labyrinth, as we saw in the game 2 versus my team, he's a pretty good Lee Sin player.
Oh yeah, he's been playing Lee Sin since the early days of season 1, pretty much. But since pretty much since Lee Sin was a thing. My question to you guys: we are finally seeing. I was just about to make a comment on the lack of exhaust from either team, but Bear Jr. did just throw on the exhaust for the Zillion. But still, you could say the same thing on the Karma, opting for the ignite and no exhaust for the likes of Vigar, who's just gonna blow you up. Tristana, late game monster, could use an exhaust. Lee Sin, with the way that Labyrinth builds him, probably gonna need an exhaust on him at some point too. So, going really aggressive.
Even if you want to have the exhaust for like a Karma roam up to top lane to try to stop the aggression of Hillary Clinton, I mean I think team comp wise they have pigeonholed themselves on the side of GDA. They're going all in for early game and they're relying on the Shen ultimates to try to make better, more active plays in the early game to snowball. Because if they do snowball and they can get this Akali ahead and she's playing in Fog of War to where they, have more vision in the enemy jungle, she can solo out probably almost anyone on their team. But if that doesn't happen, we're in another situation because of the solo laners and now the ADC again picked on the side of Pooh. The later this game goes, the harder it's going to be for GDA to win.
So you know what? I think before you continue, Frank, let's go ahead and throw it into chat. Let's get some hashtags out. Hashtag GDA win or hashtag Pooh win, and let's poll our audience here and see what you guys think. Go ahead, Frank.
I was gonna say I am interested though to see the positioning of Bear Jr. because with how the other team is going to try and just blow up the Vigar, blow up the Tristana. He might have to, put his neck on the line to try and chrono shift someone, which also could get him blown up as well.
Yeah. You want to do some roster rundowns before we get into the game this time?
Absolutely. So on the side of GDA, rocking the blue side, finally, we have Garfield Juice on the Shen. Theatrics running Elise in the jungle. Baja Blast taking a Kali down the mid lane. Uramoose on the Callista. Really excited for that one. And Clap That a 5-5. On the Karma for the support. Over on red side, on the team of Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods, we have Hillary Clinton once again on that York Classic matchup with the Shen. Labyrinth on the Lee Sin, no jungle item. Hiramar on the Veigar, once again, that random guy on his main Tristana. And Bear Jr. himself on the Zillion. So we are about to get into this game. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Week 2, Game 2 of GDA versus Gimme That Ace versus Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods. We're looking forward to an exciting match here. Once again, the PMA Rumble in the Jungle, Theatrics and Labyrinth, the Master and the Apprentice. We'll see who the true master is at the end of this game.
Yep. If I have to pick, I'm going to stick with my pick, the same team that I picked last time. I got to go with POO again. I just feel like I'm not as sold on the proactive plays and also just the team comp in general from GDA.
Frank?
I think I'm going to go with GDA again in the hopes that Theatrics is going to play smarter and work better around the Yorick. I think that's why they let it go through, is because they're like, okay, we saw it played, we played around it poorly, we're not going to do it again.
For me, I'm gonna amend my previous game prediction and go with Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods. I think they're all pretty much on comfort pick champions, and I'm just not sure. I just don't know even if GDA really knows what their comp wants to do. I think their comp wants to get ahead and just steamroll them, but it's with the tactical gameplay coming out of POO. I don't know if that's really going to be a viable option for them in this match.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
All right, but ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into it. We all have all people in game. No mess ups in the lobby. We actually got right into it. So bless Based Rito on that one. And we are into it. Game 2 of GDA versus POO. What do we see? We got pretty standard jungles coming out here. I don't think either team really wants to do an invade on this one.
Yeah, Labyrinth deciding to go on the bot side first for just the better leash instead of starting red and maybe getting a cheese level 2 gank out, or prioritizing a bot lane level 3 gank, which means he'll be on the top side of the map for his level 3. Most likely going to be going buff, Gromp buff.
Yeah, my assumption here, if I know anything about Labyrinth's Lee Sin play, which I would, I've played probably hundreds of matches with him on the Lee Sin, and me in the top lane, is he'll probably come to that top lane first and try to kill the Shen just to get Hillary Clinton rolling, so he doesn't have to worry about him too much later on. But Hillary Clinton's pretty good on the York, so maybe he doesn't need it.
Yeah, I'm so interested. He smote the wolves instead. Maybe I'm just a really bad jungler, but jungle pass interest me. That's all. They both should know that the other jungler started on the bot side due to the information given to them by their bot lanes that they all showed up late. So this could be a counter gank potentially about to happen for Theatrics and Labyrinth.
Bear Jr. getting that good combo off him. Throwing that damage around.
But you know what though? Now that I think about it, we could definitely see a gank. No, it looks like he's gonna go top lane. We're gonna see a gank coming out top lane. Hillary Clinton just taking the fight early on, but he's gonna get killed possibly before he can. Garfield Juice super low from the fight with York, flashes ahead of time. Labyrinth flash Qs and gets the first blood in top lane. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Labyrinth 1898 Lee Sin Flash Q. He did it.
Yeah, here's my question. Adam, you know he started bot side. You know that all that happened. You didn't use smite on any of your camps to hurry up your gank potential or your jungle clear at all. That's my question there. If he was there, if he had gone, or if he would have used smite on any camp, he could have been there in time to probably make the turnaround, at least get a 1-for-1 trade, if not get a 1-for-0 or 2v2. Good gank overall though by Labyrinth, and especially waiting out the flash and hitting the Q.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. And side note, for those of you who don't know, Labyrinth does not use Smartcast. He uses standard casting for all of his spells, so being able to get those flash Qs on that Lee Sin without even using Smart Flash, pretty impressive.
Ooh, Lee Sin coming in again in the top lane.
He ward hops forward, Qs, and that's it. He's just trying to push him out there, but he does visit top again, trying to get Hillary Clinton steamrolling right now, spending a lot of time ganking that top lane. Meanwhile, Theatrix opted to go back for his first buy. As we know, Labyrinth needs no jungle item.
Well, he has to have one to get level 2, otherwise none of these ganks work. But yeah, he doesn't finish his enchantment, so to say. See a slight CS advantage in the bot lane, but here
We
comes
have a
the
fight coming down once again in the top lane. Shen goes for the taunt on the Hillary Clinton. If he's going to get a kill at all, it's going to be early game, but Garfield Juice and Hillary Clinton just trading back and forth in the Shen matchup that they are both now familiar with. How do you guys think it's going to go for this game?
it's all going to depend upon the junglers. If Adam doesn't show his face outside of the river, which this may be the first time we see him at bot lane, his early pick Elise in the first rotation is worth nothing. Neither one of these junglers scales incredibly well into the lane. There's better pick potential from the Elise, which helps out her team, but he needs to go top. This bot lane is not where you want to be right now. Kallista's not strong, the Karma's not incredibly strong either. Into this lane, they're just going to be shoved in the entire time, which I understand is why you want to gank the bot lane, because they're shoved in. But granted, that probably means that they're also warding at the same time.
So Labyrinth uses the vision plants to try to get some vision, but he does not spot out Theatrix, so he's going to wait in this tri bush, and he's looking for something here, possibly hanging out. They're going to come for a ward. He does Q on the Karma, goes in. Bear Jr. looking for the stun from the bombs, but he doesn't get it. Theatrix looking for a counter gank here, but he is a level down on Labyrinth right now.
He may be a level down, but he's a whole jungle like smite ahead. Labyrinth is sitting on 1600 gold right now. He could have some damage items. He's been out on the field this entire time.
Hold on, I'm getting told that I'm a goon for not capping my FPS. Hold on, we gotta cap the FPS here.
That was a very good flash by Clap that A55, because those double bombs were gonna land if he did not flash that.
Yeah, he was dead to rights for sure.
What I was gonna say earlier, that we never got to, is I'm really confused as to I think the Vigar in the early game has been playing this matchup against the Akali just very poorly. Just needs to be sitting back and farming, because Vigar probably has the advantage, in my opinion. Pre-6, has the range, has damage, and just really wants to farm up, and is losing the farm game and was getting a lot of harass from the Akali pre-6. Just really interesting play there.
Yeah, while I understand, I do agree with what you're saying in farming back, but I mean, like, a wave is not much in terms of that, especially in the grand scheme of things where he's going to be continually scaling his, you know, let me see how many Q stacks he has. 34 right now. That's 7 minutes. Not a lot. Not
It's a little under.
But, I mean, he doesn't have to do anything in this lane. He can be down a whole wave and a half if he wants to be, and he'll be fine. He'll scale perfectly into the late game, as we see level 6s around the board finally coming out for everybody.
It's more for me. It's just more of the trades I was seeing, and yeah, more of the trades.
We are again Labyrinth, instead of upgrading his jungle item, doing more damage as usual. Typically likes to go the Duskblade on the Lee Sin. He talked about that in the post-game interview last week.
And it's a great buy here against this incredibly squishy team comp.
Akali going in, manages to avoid the event horizon, but then walks right into it anyway, taking a huge chunk of damage from Hiramar in the process. But the Akali did manage to make it to level 6 without dying, and is now actually does pose a threat on Hiramar, but he's going to get some assistance, it looks like, from Bear Jr., who's going to attempt the double bomb stun, takes the tower shot, walks away. But Theatrix gets the stun. He is going to come across, instead of repelling, though, he just decided to walk around, and because of that, Bear Jr. escapes. He might have been able to get the assassination there. Assassination.
No. Oh, yeah, there was no Chrono Shift.
I think it was more of a safe play for him, although Rome does allow them to push up a little bit in the bot lane, finally get some tower damage right there.
And I think that they do need to play safe. They need to start making plays. But if they fall behind with this team comp that needs to snowball, they're gonna lose.
Yeah. I expect to see some type of play bot lane here within the next 2 to 3 minutes. Garfield Juice not pulling his sword with him. He's gonna die.
Garfield Juice, yes, is caught up. We're looking mid lane. Hillary Clinton's fairly low as well, but he's not too afraid. He's got the ult sitting there, so he's just going to try to farm this out and probably just freeze the wave here for now.
Yeah, a little bit of more micro misplays on the side of GDA.
I think that's, I'm totally in agreement there. I think we're seeing like small misplays, and they build up over the course of the early game. It gives them trouble mid game.
Yeah, and here comes the play bot that I'm hoping to see most likely. As Shin's probably going to TP back top, yep. Which will ruin the potential play that they might have wanted to go bot lane, because if they make the play bot now and he has to TP, then he's going to give up this tower.
So we did see Theatrix. Oh, we have Akali just going in on the Lee Sin. She ignites, but then the Lee Sin flashes in with the Q. Gets the Q, but he's not able to capitalize on it. Garfield Juice trying to take the fight from Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton throws up the wall. He's just going to throw the wall up, and are they going to take this fight, or are they going to keep going? Hillary Clinton's not sure if he wants this. He's going to kite backwards. Garfield Juice pushing up against him. Oh, it looks like we might have a wraparound play coming from Labyrinth, but we do have Theatrix on the other side of the jungle just waiting for it. Labyrinth decides that he's not going to go for it. They spot him out.
That was a really nice blind Q by Labyrinth that led to him spotting the Akali. I think if he doesn't hit that, then there should be a collapse happening
You
here.
have Labyrinth getting caught out. Now here's the problem with the squishy Q. He's got the Zillion ult coming out. That's going to resurrect him, but he does not have flash. He just used it mid lane. He's going to possibly W out. No, he's too squishy. They use all of their CC, and they get him out. Finally, Labyrinth with the death, and it looks like they're going to start the dragon.
Alright, this Garfield Juice cannot stay here. He has to leave right now. Go back top lane. They don't need you for this dragon. You need to try to save it, as Hiramar is going to
Take it very quickly. Oh, but Akali dives in the back lane. We didn't even see it. The directed camera was too slow. Akali dives in the back lane, gets the Hiramar. He's going to go around, kite around, diving in on the Bear Jr., who's going to use his stopwatch, but unfortunately they're going to get him anyway. And that actually winds up being huge. Oh, huge. Absolutely huge for GDA.
Yeah, 3 for 0 and the dragon. Unfortunately, again, it is a Ocean Drake for them, and top lane will go down to Hillary Clinton because
Can't
she's
leave that York alone. Can't do it.
I still find it worth, though, on the side of
yeah, you have the
A curse upon the ground.
Akali getting the kills, which is nice, especially with the Dark Seal. Might have the Hex Tech by the time she backs. That's fine. No, just parts of it. You can probably put her in a side lane almost now, but it's gonna be so incredibly tough to keep this type of tempo and pressure up, even with those 3 kills right there. They're losing the first tower and the first blood. They're still down 900 gold. By the way, I bet Labyrinth wishes he would have had a green smite to where he could have ward hopped away.
No. He
I just
doesn't.
want to troll him.
He definitely doesn't.
If somehow he's in here in the post-game lobby, I'm gonna tell him that and be like, "Wish you had that green spite, huh, bud?" No, by all means, he's gonna finish his Duskblade up here.
But you know, we do see Theatrics pulling ahead in the farm game finally on Labyrinth. Even though he was a little bit behind, he's now 1-0-1 to Lee Sin's 1-1-0. So I think these jungle matchups are going to make all the difference here in this game.
Well, they're both still early game junglers, and we're only about 13.5 minutes into the game, so there's still a lot of early games left to be played. I'm really looking for a bot lane play from the Shin Stand United once it comes off a cooldown again, with, you know, Theatrics and Baja Blast Lover diving bot lane like Frank was talking about earlier.
Having some more vision here. We do have GDA with tons of vision out on the map right now, and not as much on the side of Bear Jr. pushing the woods.
Yeah, very defensive vision on the side of Bear Jr. with the entire river warded on the side of GDA, which kind of shows you that they just want to know where this Lee Sin is at all times.
He gets spotted out by a ward once again.
But there's that Duskblade coming in.
There's that Duskblade. Hillary Clinton putting tons of pressure out on that top lane, and that really just makes it hard for him because you know, Theatrics is just going to be feeling like he's pulled top all the time to try to deal with that, but there's really nothing they can do to stop the Hillary Clinton York. Pushing.
Well, I mean, there was something they could have done in the earlier game, but you know, they're starting up the Herald right now on the side of POO. Nothing they can really do on that again this time, and I don't think they can get a cheeky kill like happened last game on the other side of the map.
But that just goes back to that tactical gameplay that we keep seeing out of POO. I mean, great shot calling, and I believe I did sub for them last week, so I'm pretty sure it's Bear Jr. making those calls, but possibly Labyrinth. But the two of them together are really just constantly trying to take something on the map. Capitalizing on anything. Go ahead.
Quick interrupt. Herald was taken by POO.
Yeah. And here's the 4-man bot. Not necessarily the play that I was hoping for, but the play that we're getting is he's probably about to get clapped.
Clap taking some tower shots. Lee Sin looking possibly for the flank, but he's afraid of getting popped again. Misses the Q on Nakarma, who is going to use the blast cone. She's going to W over. She's going to W him. He's going to try to flash out. He gets booted. He W's over to Bear Jr. Shen teleports in, taunts them both. Double man, double taunt. That's a double kill for them as well. Theatrics gets one of those kills, and I believe the other kill went over to the Akali.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
No.
The other kill went over to
Ballista?
the Elise and Callista got the kills.
That's right. And but just like we were saying, Hiramar, seeing his teammates getting killed in the mid lane, capitalizes, takes mid turret. So something for something, at least with this team here.
Yeah, a little bit cheeky again by Labyrinth to continue trying to make a play. He knows he can probably 100-0 as here.
Oh, Hiramar, tons of damage out. Absolutely just deletes Clap. Gets a double stun on him. Tries to delete Theatrics as well. Uramoose just doesn't quite have the damage yet, trying to get the kill onto Hiramar, but that Callista just needs more time to scale.
Yep, and here we go on the top lane.
Hillary Clinton trying to escape. Baja Blast is massive though, doing tons of burst damage, gets another kill. This Akali just keeps getting bigger, now 3-0 and 2. That's kind of the snowball they want, but we do have the teleport coming in from Miramar. Teleports in.
Rift Herald
the
dropped.
Rift Herald comes out. Looks like they're going to just do their best to try to take this mid tower here and back off, I would say.
Yeah.
What I'm confused about is why on the Callista, why the board first?
I mean, I played quite a bit of Callista in my time, and I love the lane. You know, typically you don't want your lane to end as soon as it can, because you want to get that blade first for the sustain, for the active. You know, gives you the attack speed. It gives you a little bit of everything that you want. So That's personally for me, but of course if you go, you got a big fight here. Let's look at that. And the ult comes down. This lane ult comes down to Miramar, but he doesn't beat it. They're gonna take this mount.
The team has slain the dragon.
But no, going back to the Callista thing, I don't like Hurricane first also because you wind up with 0 damage.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. Just something in that last sequence that we just saw. Miramar is caught out, but he's able to 1, blow up someone, and 2, be saved and have the engage stop for this Akali to have her resets because of the Zillion pick. That last pick Zillion fixed this comp so well. Theatric's early game was very lackluster, didn't prioritize any lanes for a good 5 to 7 minutes. Could have had an earlier snowball on either mid or possibly like kept the Yorick down a bit. Could have had a counter gank top. It's so dependent now on the GDA to find picks.
We've got a 3-man top here. Zillion coming over the wall with the blast cone. They're going to try to dive onto this Lee Sin. They taunt him under tower, and they absolutely just completely blow him up. He has no health. They're going to blow up the Zillion as well with the Akali, who is massive. Theatrics, 2-0 and 3. Baja Blast Liver, 5-0 and 2 on this Akali. Absolutely deleting these squishy carries on the side of POO. We got another fight coming out. Clap uses the W to try to snare up the Yorick, but Callista pulls the Clap out at the last moment. They're going to try to just wave clear up this tower. Yorick is just a pushing monster, though, so they just got to take these minions out. They're going to take out his ult, and they're going to back off this. We do have a siege coming out on top as well.
Just as I said
do you think that they know? Did they know that Akali and the Elise were there?
I'd have to go back and check, but
Because there was no business in them protecting that turret if they did.
well, of course.
And they do get the kill onto the Shen. He stays just so that they can take up the tower. Tristana jumps in trying to get the attacks out, and Theatrix using the dash. Hillary Clinton with the teleport comes in and just last hits the Elise. Akali is low as well. Tristana jumps over the wall. They're going to get the kill on this one as well. And they're going to turn it around. That's an overstay. Definitely an overstay just for that turret, that top turret. And it looks like they're moving towards Baron here. At 20 minutes and 20 seconds, they're going to start this Baron.
They're gonna get this. No jungler, Smite, Callista can't do anything. So just as I was about to praise GDA for their... Oh, is Labyrinth?
Labyrinth is super low, tanking way too much, trying to get his team in there. Hillary Clinton says, no, we're gonna stay, let me tank this. Labyrinth goes in with the Q, gets the Smite, winds up back at half health. They're gonna go in on the Callista. Shen comes in with his ult, but he can't protect the Callista, and he's gonna try to dash out now, but he's in danger.
Feel its pull.
Yeah, Clap
He's
also
gonna back
got
off,
put-
and POO winds up with the Baron at 20 minutes and about 45 seconds or so. Well done, POO.
I like that Bear Jr. used Chrono Shift to save dying to the Baron.
Yeah, possibly dying to the Baron. I just... Like I said, they really need to find some picks, and then they find some picks.
And Akali jumps in and deletes Miramar, who overstays a little bit. You cannot be near this Akali. She will absolutely blow you up with that Hextech Gunblade every single time. And she is now stacking a Dark Seal, it looks like.
Well, yeah, she had 10 stacks, and then she got the 2 back right now after the death top lane. They made the picks that I said that they needed to make to try to get back into this. Then they did do the overstay, as you stated, which led to the free Baron. They could have probably just taken that and then rotated mid since...
Labyrinth is going to ward dash out of there. He's fine. Almost got caught out by the tether from Karma.
Yeah, the W is pretty good way to get some of these squishies
Focused
out.
resolve.
Because we all knew it. Her W was called. Good job for knowing. I have no idea.
I didn't know. I had to look at it.
Yeah. I don't know. if
Hillary
he-
Clinton is going to go super aggressive on Garfield Juice here, but he decides instead of chasing it down, he's just going to farm up this way. Probably a better choice for him.
Yeah. I don't know if you can call it a throw. People in chat claiming it was a GDA throw. They've been behind this entire game. They had a slight tempo advantage, but then they threw that tempo advantage away. So if that's what you want to call it, then that's fine. But
I mean, I disagree with you because they were down, as we saw early in the game. They were down in farm. They were down 900 gold lead. They then tied the gold lead up, then even got a little bit ahead with the play that they made. So they made up the ground that they had lost So I wouldn't say that they were necessarily.
Hillary Clinton turning his attention towards Theatrix. He's going to just try to delete him up, but Theatrix has to use the repel and the flash and the dash from his item. Gosh, what's that called? Proto belt, that's right. And he gets away by the skin of his teeth, but now the rest of POO is collapsing on them. Clap is forced to flash out. Hillary Clinton's moving in on this tower. And once again, I think Hillary Clinton is starting to be the pillar for this team. Just dominating his lane, dominating his opponents so that the rest of his team can focus. They rotate around, in fact, towards the mid lane while the rest of GDA is distracted. And they're going to go for this tower. With Tristana and Baron buff, they're going to take this down really quickly. And a Mountain Drake.
But Bear Jr. almost dies.
They get the tower, and they're going to choose to back off of it. Hillary Clinton getting the call to back off as well, I believe. They're going to go back with disadvantage. They're going to shout.
I like the pickup that the Shen is trying to do right now. You see that he has that Raptors club going for a ZZ run portal to answer York.
Kali just dashes in, doesn't even care about the Lee Sin. Almost gets blown up by the Hirmar. The Callista ult comes down, knocks him up, and we've got Labyrinth just escaping by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, I had to use the Zillion ult to save him.
And they're going to go on to this dragon here. The dragon that POO was just about to position. And it goes over to GDA.
Yeah, but here's the thing. RNGesus is not with GDA this or last game. The Drakes that they pick up are just passive Drakes. They need Infernals. They need... Even a Cloud Drake in some ways would be better, so you could have the Sakali and Karma and Theatrix roam faster around to find these picks of these missed positions. But these Ocean Drakes are going to do them no good come late game unless it comes down to an Elder Dragon fight where they have more dragons. Akali is building GA with that BF sword pickup in her inventory. Baja Blast Lover understanding the win conditions of his team.
The win conditions being Akali.
He being the win condition, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta assassinate Hillary Clinton, and you gotta take out Hiromar before he completes his Zonias, which he looks like he's going Abyssal Mass because of the amount of AP damage on the side of GDA.
So we're talking about his ZZ Rock portal. Oh, we got Akali diving in and killing the Lee Sin, who has 0 magic resist, who's boot full damage basically, with the Black Cleaver only providing a small amount of health.
Never falter.
Still no jungle item.
And still no jungle item.
25 minutes in the game.
But we were talking about the ZZ Rock portal coming out. We do have a ZZ Rock portal on the side of Hillary Clinton, and finally just one being completed on the side of Garfield Juice. So 2 ZZ Rock portals basically canceling each other out.
I think that we're starting to see this fall off because building straight damage and the Akali built a Zonias. See, the main target and doing the most damage. I think the Elise at the moment is stronger than.
I think we're missing part of what you were saying there, Frank.
Oh.
Must dig.
Yeah, you just cut out. We get the point though. He is a level down. Full damage Lee Sin scales well for wanting to one-shot carries, which is, I guess, what his idea is. But yeah, the Elise, just in general, the championship kit, the champions kit, will be more impactful throughout the rest of the game. So.
You know, we do, even though the scoreboard says 11-7 in favor of GDA, they're still down to like 2,000 gold, and that's due in large part due to the farm discrepancy. We've got a 66 farm lead on the side of Hillary Clinton, and Hiromar with about a 30 farm lead as well. We got another fight coming in. Shen, little miscommunication there, but Shen finally does get out. Constant Lee Sin. They're going to delete the Lee Sin ult. He's going to get saved possibly by the Bear Jr. ult, but he's going to dash out. Redemption coming down. Labyrinth still just trying to escape, but Baja Blast Lover finally gets him, chasing him down. They're going to keep going. We got a teleport coming in. Hillary Clinton doesn't even care. He's going to destroy the tower before the teleport even comes out. and he's going to keep that split push alive, destroying the ZZ Rot portal. He's moving on to this top inhibitor tower, while meanwhile, GDA is desperately trying to get back, but we have POO trying to come around and stop these backs. Hillary Clinton still just taking out these towers in top lane, moving quickly. Shen finally gets back and is able to start clearing these waves out. Hillary Clinton backing off now that he knows he's got 2 members back, and we have a shove coming in on this bot tower that's still standing.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton almost taking out the 2 towers right there. It's just, the TP was probably, should have been canceled. There was no way he was going to be able to complete that by the time that Hillary Clinton took out the first tower. We finally do have the Hurricane Power Spike though for Kalista. Teamfight should be doing better, but this Tristana is building up to her 2nd crit item. Interestingly enough, went magic resist for the boots instead of maybe prioritizing a Hex Drinker as her MR item. I'm not sure why. Maybe the tenacity, and instead of getting a QSS, but that's a small thing that I'll focus on, but it's a little bit questionable.
Not a whole lot of CC that this Tristana should be. If you're getting CC'd as Tristana, you're in trouble, especially against this team. If you're CC'd as Tristana, you're getting blown up immediately by that Akali.
Yeah, exactly. And Akali finally finishing her GA right now. I wonder if Baja Blast decides to put all the eggs in his own basket and then build a Medjai's. There's kind of a curse that I associate with once you build the Medjai's, you lose all the stacks. I think that's a solo queue kind of mentality. Bear Jr.'s ults have been on point this game. As you know, they're trying to contest for vision around here at Baron because they know that this is a very contentious point, as Dragon will be another mountain this time, and Hillary Clinton TP bot lane to go take out another tower.
I feel like GDA should be looking for a fight here with the TP down.
Yeah, they probably want to get a fight right now. This would be the
Especially
time.
because it's only the first turret.
And Hillary Clinton, meanwhile, split pushing in the bot lane, going to take out this turret pretty much immediately. They have to do something here.
I would force the
team's
Dragon
turret
right
has
the
been
Baron right now.
destroyed.
You have to do it. You don't have anyone to tank it though, and that's the problem because Shen's mid lane for some reason pushing the mid wave. You can't just dilly-dally back and forth while Hillary Clinton continues to take all your towers.
Yeah, and POO is perfectly content to just sit around and dance around this Baron while the indecisiveness of GDA loses them 2 towers here. And Hillary Clinton just completely ignores Garfield Juice. Garfield Juice doesn't really do anything. And in fact, as soon as the tower goes down, Hillary Clinton's happy to just fight him out. He knows he can win it.
Hillary Clinton just destroying Garfield right now. Garfield wishing that she was still ignoring him. Please don't.
Taught to get out. Hillary Clinton still diving.
To smite you.
Decides that he's just going to push the wave up. His team dancing around here too. So we've got a lot of indecisiveness almost from both sides. The only one who seems to be decisively doing anything is Hillary Clinton.
Well, that's kind of the win condition though of who's comp. You don't have to do anything if the other team doesn't force you to do
Red
anything.
team
No
has
one can
slain the
match Hillary
dragon.
Clinton in the split push. She is so dominant right now and just so strong that you'd need 2 people to commit to her at this point. Maybe 3 depending on who you send.
And RNG working in favor of POO with the double mountain to make the York split push even.
You have to start
Worse.
Baron this moment.
And they do.
You're-
Ask and they deliver.
Never fall.
They've done it twice. Now this time they just really need to get the damage. Blista Rin should secure this with an
For some reason, Akali's tanking the Baron.
Yeah. Okay,
This
this
is a
should be
mechanical
free
thing there.
Baron.
Heals it back out. The lifesteal on it is Akali is massive. They're going to take down this Baron, though, which is good for them. They really needed that Baron because who has double Mountain Drake? So if they had a chance to get on it, they would have gotten it pretty quickly. Karma gets stunned up, but likewise, the stun comes out for Hiramar, and they all disengage. And GDA is going to retreat with this Baron, and they're just going to try to stall this game out for a little bit longer, which may or may not work to their advantage. Right now, everyone's kind of dancing around.
Yeah. This POO team kind of reminds me of like CLG with the Dardock mixed with like split push Darshan only. You got a really smart shot calling support, a super aggressive, now no jungle items of anything with Warmogs. Okay. For Labyrinth as like the Dardock for the team, and Hillary Clinton's just full Zion Spartan Darshaning it. all across the map, just doesn't care. And it's really on theatrics, and maybe even like use the Callista ult for engage onto Hiramar if you have to. Burns the
love my
flashlight.
guys.
Miramar has to flash out. Oh, but Shen doesn't even care. He's going to dive in. He's going to taunt 2 people up. Tristana, Lee Sin's kicking him back. Akali dives in, but she gets kicked out again. She does the Zonias, and now she's getting stunned up. Shen tries to save her with his ultimate, but then he's got Guardian Angel. This Akali is using everything that they have to stay alive. They're going to keep this push up with the Baron, but Hiramar once again gets a huge event horizon out in the middle of the lane, but they're going to keep pushing on this tower. But they don't have double mountain break, so they don't take towers as quickly as the other team does. They're going to keep going. Garfield Juice tanking towers. Lee Sin comes in, flying in with the Q. He has to dive out as quickly as he can. He might fall. He doesn't. He manages to escape. They actually get the kill onto Baja Blast Lover. That was huge for them. They're going to dive in with the Tristana. She's going to get the kill onto Karma. They're going to keep going. Hillary Clinton is pushing in the bot lane. She's going to take this tower as quickly as they possibly can. They're going to shove it down mid lane now. Callista going back, barely trying to just alone, desperately trying to save this inhibitor. Callista could possibly kite this York around. He's going to get the taunt out from Garfield Juice. They're going to keep going in. Hillary Clinton, or excuse me, Moose just not going in though. If he has the red buff, he should be going in, kiting around, getting in tons of auto attacks out onto the York. But instead, they're just going to do nothing. While the rest of POO groups up, takes the inhibitor, dives in. They're going to get the dive onto Garfield Juice. He's alive still. That random guy dives in. He's got the zillion ult on him. They're going to use that. He's going to revive. Hiramar deletes Callista there. And now we have 2 men down, 3 men down. Theatrix is just alive now. They're going to retreat with what they have. Huge turnaround for POO. Lots of mistakes coming out.
So what you saw there in the mid was them forcing a fight. They saw where Hillary Clinton was when he was bot lane, and so much over aggression. I think the dive on the first tower was unnecessary, and you could have probably saved all those cooldowns for the second one. The biggest turnaround there was no one paying attention. Double bomb. The double bomb stun on 3 members right there at the end nearly secured the team, well, did secure, and probably the game for Bear Jr. They have 2 inhibitors down right now, and the next Drake up is the Elder Drake, so it's still a 2 Elder Drake for each team. Theatrix and his team have to grab that if they want to stand any chance of doing it, and have to wait until Baja Blast Lover's GA comes back up, or it's going to be incredibly tough to win the War of Attrition in a 4v5 or a straight up 5v5, which I don't think we'll ever see with Hillary Clinton on perma split push duty.
What I think also is so interesting about POO winning that team fight was that they had used Chrono Shift had been blown. No one died. Hiramar uses his ultimate on a full health Callista, which didn't really do anything at all, but they still managed to win that fight because of just the longevity of it.
Yeah, and it was very long team fight. I just think I might question the prioritization where the Akali went straight for the Tristana, who has an escape, and then still prioritized her underneath tower, when maybe they could have turned on someone like the Viegar, who I view as a...
We got a double stun coming out from Viegar. He's going to delete the Karma. The Callista just escapes barely, but man, using their Mercurial Scimitar. This is tough, and this is coming down. They have 2 inhibitors down and 0 wave clear, just like we talked about in Champ Select. They are getting stifled out right now. Another huge event horizon just blocking out anything, any response on this inhibitor. It's 3 inhibitors down now, and they're looking to finish this game out.
Yeah, this is going to be the fight for the end right here.
Lee Sin does land the Q on the invisible Akali. Incredible. Oh man, we just have Garfield just getting perma-stunned under this turret. He's gone. Redemption's coming out just for the BM. They're going to heal up. Akali's using Zonies in the middle, but she's going to die as well. And they're going to close this game out, and it looks like we have another 2-0 victory for Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods. What a finish.
Yeah, again, game 2 where they have a Lee Sin. Not as impressive as his last Lee Sin performance, but still, great win for Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods.
That was incredible. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna start getting that poll up in the chat there.
I'll be right back after these restrooms. Sorry.
Voting on MVP. Once again, if you're just tuning in, we just finished week 2, game 2 of GDA versus Bear. Gimme That Ace versus Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods, and we have a 2-0 finish for Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods. So, nice job to them. We are gonna get this post-game interview loaded up here in just a moment. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. That was a really awesome series, really back and forth, especially in that last game. Really interested to talk to these teams at the end. So we're going to get that poll up in just a sec. All right, appreciate your patience as we got ready for the player of the game interview. Hope you guys have had a great night following us. We had a great night of League of Legends here at the FIMU Alpha League of Legends Championship Series. So we just finished up with Week 2, Game 2 of GDA versus POO. We're going to move over into the game interview channel right now. So stand by.
Okay.
All right. So before we get fully into breaking down what happened in the game, my featured matchup of the week was Labyrinth versus Theatrics, the Master and the Apprentice. So I've been talking to both of you behind the scenes this week, sort of about how you've been preparing. So I guess I'll start. I'm going to start with Eric, and I think you've with Labyrinth. I think you've been doing a little bit of sleuthing this week, trying to discover how Adam has been practicing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, first of all, like as far as the master and the student, I definitely think as far as league goes that Adam's a master, and I've learned a lot from him. So I do want to give him that respect. And he's definitely out jungled me. I think in both those games, it's just through superior team play. I think that we were able to pull it out. But as far as the sleuthing goes, I you know, like I said, we played together all the time, and I had been following his accounts and kind of noticed that one of his accounts that I played with mysteriously disappeared off my friends list, and then had a name change. So, you know, kind of had to follow that around for a little while. And but the two champions he was playing on that secondary account were Jarvan and Elise. And he ended up playing.
We did see the Jarvan and the Elise come out in both of those games.
Yeah, which I think we expected. If you know, if I'm right, Bear, I think we
anticipated. I anticipated the Elise coming out because of all the tanks I was choosing.
Definitely.
Okay, so Adam, do you refute, back up, or what do you have to say about these claims?
No, they're right. They're totally right. I have like 3 or 4 accounts, and I messed around with different strats on different ones. Once I knew that Eric was checking out the one account that I was practicing stuff on, I kind of just like kept practicing it because I was trying to like troll him a little bit. And then I changed the name because I had RP on that account and I didn't really like need it, so I just decided to change it for fun and see if I could mess with him. It was all like just for good fun.
It was fun, yeah.
But honestly, the reasoning behind the Jarvan and the Elise is because there's like this special thing going on with the jungle right now that I think that every jungler needs to like pay attention to, and I'll go ahead and reveal my strats now so all of you can maybe like start practicing and get ready for real ranked. There's a really important factor in jungle camp spawning 10 seconds sooner, and that is that 100% of the time now the jungler will be level 2 before any of the laners hit level 2. So any champions that can level 2 gank are always going to have an advantage at least blowing a flash, if not getting a first blood.
Do you know why your level 2 gank worked first game?
Because I'm a god? Like, I don't know.
because Will blew his heel like level 1 on
that fountain, yeah.
He blew it at fountain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting, dude. That's actually really nice.
We didn't actually even notice that in stream.
I would have lived, and we would have maybe killed you because of like.
Also, Will never died. Just saying, he didn't get that.
I only wanted. I knew we had to kill Soraka first. To be fair, for strategy, like you have to kill the Soraka first. But either way, level 2 gank champions. Anything that can gank early is really, really important, especially with red buff. Anything that has like a 2-move gank is really good. So your Jarvans, your Elises. Ezreal jungle, like anything like that can really like press an advantage.
Elise
it's really
level
good right
2?
now. Elise couldn't do a level 2. That was
Okay.
like the whole thing that I had to wait for.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the player of the game interviews, but that was some insight on our featured matchup of the week, Labyrinth, the friendly rivalry between Labyrinth and Theatrics. But well done to both of you guys. So I'm gonna throw it now to Menbung, Sean, who's gonna talk a little bit about the MVP of both of these games.
Okay, so first game MVP was Hillary Clinton, and then if you check right now, the voting has closed, and we have a tie for game 2 between Hiramar and Hillary. Yes, we do. Oh yeah. So let's just start with chronologically. Game 1. Congratulations to you, Hillary. You did it.
Thank you. Hillary Clinton finally won a vote.
But unfortunately,
He's waiting for that one. He's waiting for it.
Unfortunately, it's still only the popular vote.
Oh god.
What does this become?
No, so
So right now on screen we've got the matchups, the champ select screen from game 1.
Yeah. So the team, and this can be MVP and the captains as well. I want to kind of make this go a little bit quicker. The York prioritization for you seems really, really huge, but we've seen it across all teams thus far this split. What are your thoughts on York as a champion, and why is he seeing so much play?
So before the recent runes patch dropped, York already had one of the highest win rates in the top lane in the lower elo queues. But this patch with the new runes is ridiculous, because Grasp of the Undying, that one that gives you other extra health, the extra damage on towers, it's way too easy to take a tower before you're ready to lane in a lane without a tower. So York is just an extremely meta pick right now, and he wasn't necessarily before. The reason I prioritize him is because, I've been maining York for a while now, and York is just something that super clicks with me. So I think the reason most people are playing it is because it's become super meta, and it's a really strong pick. But I think my York is definitely something that should be prioritized if it's left open.
Okay, and then I guess was there a level of comfort for you in playing the same champion twice, which you're also co-MVP in the second game was able to do as well? What for both of you? What kind of comfort and level of confidence did you have in yourself that not only did you get to play the champions that you played in the previous game or play it twice, but that your team prioritized those for y'all?
Well, with Dylan, I can't speak for him, but I know he is very good on Veigar. And Veigar is a solid pick all around, no matter what you go into, especially if you're as good as he is. With the Yorick, Yorick is my champion I go to when I don't know what I'm playing into all the time, because there's very few things that I'm uncomfortable into on Yorick, and one of two of those things is Caleb's Aurelia. So I'm extremely comfortable picking Yorick into whatever, because I don't need to win the lane. I just need to get Triforce and go to a lane that no one's in, and bada bing, bada boom, there's a tower. Go to another one, there's another tower. It's not about the KDA. It's not about surviving, when I threw myself at that inhib just to take it and died. Most of it is to get that threat to draw the enemy team away from the rest of the team, or get the rest of the team to draw away from the Yorick. And either way, you're going to be taking towers, and towers don't respawn. Players do. Take the towers.
Okay, Hiramar, same question to you. You were a really big contributor in the first game as well. You had some really nice double stuns, and you helped out on that top gank from the Jarvan Shen, where you turned it into a double kill for yourself. But same question to you and your comfort on Veigar and why you think he's so strong.
I feel when I play Veigar, I kind of feel like just another minion who also has a stun and an R key. So that's essentially what I do is that, during team fights, I'll walk up to somebody, I'll stun them, I'll blow them up, and then I'll walk away and just kind of keep using my W and Q to kind of clear them. I'm not actually that comfortable on Veigar. I picked him up when there was talk about this tournament. I saw and I was like, oh, okay. If I do this, people are gonna just ban out my Anivia, so I should probably learn more champions. And so I started playing Veigar, and I have 5th mastery on him maybe, and so he's kind of like a pocket pick, came out of nowhere, and is great for our team comp. Nick does a wonderful job.
I like Veigar because he's a control mage, but he also counters other control mages.
Mm-hmm.
Mid turrets are a huge priority nowadays because it has an extra 300 health. So if you can get a control mage team comp and just hold mid turret, then you're gonna stall out the game 10 minutes longer than it's gonna be at least 10 minutes longer than guaranteed if you can stall it.
And that's why usually I'll split mid if they're team fighting bot or in the jungle or something like that.
I don't like having a team comp with no with no guaranteed CC. We had that second game, we had like no guaranteed CC. It was all skill shot based. But the thing is, we had all AoE skill shot based. It was a Veigar stun, which is pretty fucking huge to hit. Like, what do we have in the second game for everyone?
You had zillion bombs, and we had.
So like he could throw out his Veigar stun, and I could zillion bomb next to it, and then we have so much zoned off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we have skill shots if we have enough zoning, basically.
Yeah,
All right, I
would
want to
say,
kind of.
Veigar was almost like your only real, like in aside from the zillion bombs, was pretty much some of your only real.
But I could literally follow him around with zillion with my speed ups, and then they couldn't go anywhere near the map, like anywhere near showing on the map because they just died of the stun.
So I want to try to get Adam in here real quick. My question for you personally, I like the Jarvan pick. I didn't necessarily like the build going for the damage because it didn't seem to really work because you weren't able to do much with it. You got blown up. And then just in both games, if you want to talk to me about like your early pathing outside of the level 2 gank on Jarvan, which I thought was good. Did you identify, obviously through both drafts, you didn't identify Yorick as a problem, but I also know that you're kind of pigeonholed, like which one do you let through of Anivia, Blitzcrank, and Thresh? And then for the Yorick. So talk to me about your draft and then your early game jungling path.
Okay, first off, Bears team in general is as advertised. They are a very strong team. Every player individually is very good. There isn't a good way for a team in this split, I think, to go up against them and have a clear advantage. If there was any clear advantage this game, it may have possibly been the jungle matchup if Eric and I were the only people in the game, but that's not the way it went, as he already said. And I'm not saying that as in he's not a good jungler. I'm just saying if I could just like play jungle and not have to worry about anything else.
Well, I mean,
it might have been a decent, fun.
To be fair,
matchup,
there was only really one jungler in that last game because I didn't see a jungle item on the other.
Yeah, let's not go into why that's wrong.
The jungle item doesn't make the jungler, man. Hey, come on.
It's all about
but
You're
regardless,
really cosplaying Lee Sin.
regardless, they're a very good team. They're a very good team, and I'm not going to take that away from them when I say any of this. Drafting against them is tough because of that. Each one of them has at least one or two key picks that need to be taken off the board, and we identified early on that it would be smartest to get pick supports away from Bear for our bot lane to have like a ghost of a chance to have some sort of safe laning phase, basically, to have like the ability to really like not feel that they're possibly going to get just one shot. So we got those out of there, and I don't disagree with that. I think that those are good things to take off the board for him. And I didn't like that last week their team got Anivia when very clearly Hiramar is a very good Anivia player, and it's all over all of his history with everything, so I don't understand why anybody would give it to him.
Hey, don't troll my team when I'm giving the interview right
But
now.
you gave up Yorick twice in a row, even after the first game.
But
double
it's,
kill.
again, it's
They
not
had a
a.
sub
It isn't,
last week, so.
it isn't a knock on Austin whatsoever with his Yorick pick, but honestly, I had Austin on my team last split, and Austin plays a lot of split pushers, and he plays them well, so taking one of his split pushers away was not really an effective draft strategy for us when we knew he could just pick something else like an Urgot or anything like that that could do the same exact thing, which is 1v1 well. And
What was the Sona ban? What was the Sona ban about?
Yeah, that was weird.
I know that you're good Sona, and Sona's really strong right now, and I didn't want to deal with it.
I haven't played Sona in
Yeah,
like
it was like-
ages.
Okay, just because you've been
we
playing
all-
Katarina a bunch doesn't mean you can't play Sona. Okay, I don't
Hey,
really.
that's our secret strats. Whoa, don't talk about that on stream.
Bear, Bear,
Anyways,
we all found your secret Smurf account as well, just like Adam did his. Okay, so don't try to hide it. We know you're spamming Sona.
Anyway, my early jungle pathing, I totally disagree with you, Sean. I think that even though you're a Jarvan player, you need to do the build that I was doing because in any type of regular game, it puts up like double-digit kills and stays pretty safe throughout most of the game. You basically go GA third item and then you never die, and then you build tank from there on. But either way, it's just about the pace of the game and how it went. Our map movement was not as strong as it could have been. We were playing off the back foot more than we wanted to be.
Yeah, it's a matter of preference, really. The only thing that I would say with the Jarvan, and granted, I mean, I'm still learning things about jungle because I wanna ask you like why you went talisman both games, and stuff like that. That doesn't need to be for stream though. But like, I thought that if you wanted to, you were the main source of engage for your team, like reliable engage, to do that and then be tankier, so where you're not just blown up, to where you can just absorb as much, and then maybe Shen ults on top of you, buying more time. That's the only thing I thought about. But yeah, you're right. If you could bop the other team with your Jarvan and get to that third item GA, that would have been fine. Going to the second game though, your Elise path where you went from red, blue to wolves, but you didn't use smite in that early path to like speed up your clear, and then now this is just me, but it looked like you were pathing top to try to stop the Yorick, maybe, or you felt like you could take advantage of that because you picked the same lane matchup against it.
Right, I can clarify that. There was a miscommunication there on our side. We didn't see the Veigar until pretty late, and we were questioning whether or not Eric had started red buff, and if he had started red, I assumed that his intention was to either cheese and gank me at my blue or try to take it. So I pathed straight up to blue and tried to hold smite just in case I needed to try to outsmite him and try to take a trade there. But because that wasn't what actually happened, and it was just a matter of us not having vision of the Veigar soon enough, I ended up trying to take the blue, and then I finished it, and I took the wolves. And at that point, my goal was, yes, to gank top first. Yeah. But the Lee Sin was obviously able to get there first. So it was just a matter of miscommunication, and the pathing suffered because of it.
No, yeah. No, that was my only question. Last thing for your draft, the Karma prioritization and the Akali last pick. Because once I'm done with hearing that, I want to hear Bear's response for why I think the Zillion was what made his draft perfect.
The Karma was something that Matt had been working on. I kind of like Karma in this patch. I like the combination of support and damage. I think that AP supports right now, or anything that can build damage on a support, is pretty overtuned, especially with the runes the way that they are. So I kind of liked the ability for it to create engages, to be good for saving people, locking anybody down. It just had a good combination of stuff that we liked. So we figured we put him on that. He likes mage supports over tanks anyway.
Okay.
And overall, I don't think he played poorly in any way.
No. I just was wanting to know the prioritization. I'm not saying anything about his play for sure.
So yeah, I think that he's just good on that champion, and we liked it with whatever comps we were trying to do. But the Akali pick, it was kind of a toss-up. We were thinking, do we want something safe for him, like a Morgana again, or do we want something that he can make more individual plays on? And what we came down to was, if we wanted to push the pace a little bit more, if we intended on picking up an early game lead again, like we tried to in the first game, then maybe we should give him something that he could make some more individual plays on, just in case we couldn't get around the map the way that we wanted to because of their zone control. So that was what ended up deciding the Akali pick. It's a champion that Steven's comfortable on. And I mean, he put up the KDA to show why he's comfortable.
No, yeah. It was a really good performance by Akali. I think I thought last game that the first game that you were going to have Karma mid and Morgana support, but I think it worked out. It was a nice flex. I really thought the Morgana support could have been just as well with the Sivir, but it's neither here nor there now. It just was a nice kind of flex.
All right, so I think we have time for one more question. I think, Sean, you were going to throw the final question over to Bear Jr.
Bear. Yeah, Bear.
Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll close out the stream.
Yeah, Bear. So the Zillion pick right there at the end.
I don't play a lot of Zillion, honestly. I haven't played it this is my first time playing it this season. But just had a feeling it was going to be super good into their single target damage comp, basically, because they have to stack a bunch of Ren stacks first before they can kill anyone. So I can easily get my ult off on whoever they're stacking Rens on. I can get my ult off on whoever Akali jumps on, whoever Elise snares. Like, there's so much more stuff I can do, and I can really delay the game once they commit Shen to a TP. Did you see how many times I was stopping their backs with bombs and shit like that?
Yeah, the double bomb, the triple champ double bomb in mid lane was pretty nice. That's got to be the POTG
during the team fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad. I think we might have missed that on stream too. So yikes.
Oh. No, it was really.
It was off. It was like a little bit. It was a little bit off screen because they were running away. So they.
If you guys are able to access your highlights, you should get one of you should clip that highlight and we'll post it to the family.
Yeah.
Stream. Then I sped up Trist after that, and Trist had red buff, so just ran him down. And then we already had bot turret like down on the inhibitor, or the inhibitor turret was going down as that happened. So we just steamrolled their base after that. But basically, the Zillion was just so They banned out my supports again, so I knew I was just gonna have to scale into late game anyway. And I could pick another early game support. I have other ones, but I just don't. I just wanted something to keep us balanced, basically. Have everyone a chance to stay alive, but some extra zoning. It just seemed like a really good pick for the comp.
Yep, I agree.
For speeding up Veigar, that just people don't realize how much they're gonna get caught out by that. The Veigar stun plus Zillion speed up.
All right, so Bear Jr. Admitting that really it was just a feeling. It was just a feeling, but it actually wound up working out for them. Once again, we've got Bear Jr. Poops in the Woods taking it 2-0 against Gimme That Ace. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for the FIMU Alpha, and thank you guys for your time interviewing with us. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves tonight. But for those of you who are looking for some more FIMU Alpha League of Legends Championship Series action, you can meet us right back here tomorrow night at 9:30, where I myself will be hosting the stream along with my friend Giovanni. We have Boosted Gorilla Monkeys versus Slapnut Magoos. That's a tricky one. Boosted Gorilla Monkeys versus Slapnut Magoos at 9:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night. So we'll see you guys there. Once again, I'm Joystick, my friend Sean, and my friend Frank, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you so much.